Maria. All right, we sound good. Okay. So there's a lot of people out there that are just kind of, kind of bashing America. And I don't want you to think that that's what I'm doing. Let's put it to you this way. Tell me if I'm tripping. This is how I feel that most of you guys feel. I love my country. This is the best way I can explain it. America's like my child. It's like my daughter. I love her dearly. But at the moment, I'm just a bit disappointed. Anyways, let's have some fun. Oh, this is rich. This is kind of, we're going to be talking about kind of the future of America. We're going to make some bold predictions, and then also we're going to make some optimistic predictions. But this is going to set the tone. This one goes, the people who forced you to get vaxxed to keep your job let 17 million unvaxxed and unemployed into the country. Hypocrites, right? Anyways, started off like that just to set the tone. A little bit upsetting. Not cool.
By 2030, it is estimated that 60% of single-family homes are going to be owned by those three corporations, State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock. They are manipulating the system so that they will end up having all the inventory. I feel like we're entering into this world where we're all just going to be like serf peasants living and not being able to afford home ownership and having to be renters. And then all you have to do is remove protections from renters, and then you have slaves essentially, because if you don't own property and you have to pay rent and there's no rent control, it's what are you going to do then?
Police killed my...
All right. So remember, I'm hoping that in the next decade, things kind of turn around. But the way we're heading, not cool. Now, I made a video the other day about the military, United States military. All right. And I do appreciate everybody that risked their lives for this country. I appreciate that. But let's look at the other side of the coin. Police, the military. Would you guys still protect us if the government said to not protect us? I hope that makes sense.
Close friends, they shot me in the face. Now I live on a commune, and we're taking down the government by dropping out and encouraging others to, and being completely self-sufficient and paying no taxes and not fighting their wars.
There's nothing you can do about it. Like, take down my account, try to come kill me. What are you going to do? We win. We're growing our own food. We're living as a community. We're not paying taxes, of course. We don't participate in the money system much. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I put that in there because this is kind of something that's happening. This is on a lot of people's minds. Like, this guy's doing it. Like, I feel like it could go two ways. Things could even out, or a lot more people are going to be kind of going that guy's route. And I don't think he means like, oh, let's attack our government. Like, I don't incentivize that. That's a battle we'll probably lose, to be honest. But I do think that a lot more people are going to drop out. Like, that's kind of going to be the fight. It's not going to be an actual physical fight. It's going to be, I'm going to go this way. That's just kind of what I see. Anyways, if you're new here, I'd like to read some of your comments from previous videos. Keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh. All of these comments have the same thing in common. So this one goes, the USA made living so expensive that your job doesn't even pay for it. Classic. And that also had to do with the military video I did too. Like, who's going to join the military if they can't afford to live? Okay. People don't want to work if there's no reward. All right. Let's go down here. The younger generation doesn't want to work because there's no reward. See the general theme of that. I don't need to read all of those. Just kind of pay attention. Like, I'm not bugging out here. And neither are you guys. And speaking of no reward, okay, even if you were to go live on a commune, you're still going to be working, no matter what you do. Try living in the woods. But you're going to be working hard. But at least you're getting a reward. It's a satisfaction. You're doing it for yourself. I don't want to live in the woods, honestly. I'm going to be real with you. But if you decide to stay in society, this is awesome. Get ready for this. This is going to make your week. This is the reward you get for working hard. This is New York City. And I'm going to talk about where I see New York and LA and all these places go after this.
I just went to look at yesterday. It's on the toilet. It's an upper decker sink. It's a 2-for-1 toilet sink. And you press a button and water just slowly This is crazy. The real estate agent looked me in the eye and said, it's super useful and it saves space. Bro, what? I mean, dude, at that point, just be like, oh yeah, it's actually a 3-for-1 because the toilet is also the bathtub. And the guy goes, it was supposed to be 4,500, but the office messed up. So it's 4,200 and you take it as is. We're not going to repaint the apartment. This is absolutely psycho to have this. You can't even turn it on. You press a button and the toilet flushes and then water comes out of there.
Oh, that's rich. 4,200? 3-in-1 toilet? But that's kind of, there's no reward. Like, this is, and my prediction is, if you live in New York City, I don't know what the fuck, like, no offense, but I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, I get a community and all that, and don't let them beat you down. We're going to rise above it. But I think it might get to a point where people are just like, I'm out. Like, I feel like rural living is going to be real popular. But just think about that. $4,200. Imagine bringing a chick home to that. If I went to a chick's house and that was in there, I'd be like, I'm going to let it slide. She's hot, but I don't think I'm going to see her again. Anyways, I think everybody's going to feel what this gentleman's feeling right here. And he's being a little sarcastic, but...
Why does it feel like every day I leave the house, it costs me $250 every day?
All right, so let's be honest. You ain't spending $250 every time you leave your house. I get where he's coming from. But realistically, it does feel like I'm spending $50 a day. Easy. Not on bills either. Just on bullshit. Just on life. Just moving around town. So I could see in 2035, I could see $250 a day being a thing if it goes at this rate. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully things even out. I'm being optimistic, but also, we kind of got to go, we got to look at what's going on. Anyways, here's if you live in Baltimore, I see more of this happening too.
Stupid motherfucking Baltimore motherfuckers came by and fucking jacked the fucking rims off my car last night. Jesus.
I see a lot more of that happening, and the reason why is because they're also incentivizing it. Like, this doesn't happen anymore. Look at this. This is from 1982. This man from Alabama is in prison for life for stealing $9. $9 in the 80s, what? Multiply that by 7, 8, 10, even 10. Multiply by 10. $90 in today's money. He's in prison for life. He did have 3 prior convictions, but here's the thing. If shit goes bananas, which I hope it doesn't, all right? I don't mean to seem too crazy here. But if shit went bananas and they're not arresting anybody, there's no room in prison, right? How are they going to arrest all these people? Like, no one has to worry about stealing and going to prison anymore. So I just see that, like, being a viable option. Like, not that I'm going to do it, but let's be real here, all right? Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Anyways, this one goes... This is from Time Magazine. It goes, Norway is the happiest country in the world. What's the secret? He goes, I can't believe that that a wealthy country with free health care and free education, high wages, strong middle class, and nearly a month paid vacation every year by law is happy. I know. We need to be more like Norway, man. But that's not profitable. Anyways, upward and onward. Now, guys, I don't claim to know everything. I'm actually just as confused as most people out there, to be honest with you. I don't know what you guys think in the back. But there's 2 ways to get wealthy in this world. Tell me if I'm tripping. Number 1 is to fuck people over. That's an option. Or the hard way is to help people. You got 2 options. There's no more in between, at least not in America. So it looks like Norway picked the other option. They actually help people, and that's why they're doing so great. And it looks like America, which I do love, a bit disappointed in right now, not going to lie. They seem to be doing the bending people over aspect. I could be crazy. Anyways, This guy, the IRS got me all the way fucked up. Shit. That's how he sounds.
Gotta be so for real with y'all. I just got something from IRS talking about by June 24th, me filing my taxes for 2023, I owe $3,311. Well, I got news for y'all in internal revenue service motherfuckers. We need some of our tax dollars back that y'all sending over there to other countries and giving to immigrants and shit. Y'all will get this when we get our tax dollars. Don't that make sense? Y'all motherfuckers steal from our check that we work for 40 to 50 hours a week for. Y'all motherfuckers take y'all cut out of our check before we even get our check. How the fuck that makes sense? Then on top of that, you want me to pay you more taxes? Bitch, are you fucking... Who runs the IRS? Y'all motherfuckers gotta be retarded, man. Y'all...
I think retarded's actually the wrong word. Let's see the definition of retard here. It goes to delay or impede the development or progress of, or to slow up, especially by preventing or hindering advanced or accomplishment. Yeah, they actually are retarded or retards. That's spot on. They're fucking up our groove for sure. But I also think the main word he meant was greed, a selfish and exclusive desire for more of something, such as money. So they're greedy and retarded. The guy's pretty accurate. And to be fair, we're just talking shit here, okay? We're just having fun. All right. I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. It's all good. It's good to talk about it. All right. Well, how else is anything ever going to get done if we're not shouting it off of a mountaintop? But I see, like, in the future, like 10 years from now, either A, taxes are going to be like half of our fucking income. It's going to just get way worse. Or B would be a good one. All of us keep shouting out and a lot of us start saying no, and things kind of fix themselves a little bit. Because I think a little bit of taxes are necessary, let's be honest, okay? I get it. But at the same time, how far can they take it? So hopefully it levels out. Or B, everybody just gets free money and we lose all of our freedoms. Because ain't nothing in life free. There's always a catch-22. God, I'm totally stoked about this episode. This is fun, right? All right. This one was good. The way the trend is going, employers will be charging you the privilege to have a job in a decade from now. That's already happening. That's already a real thing. Talk to any stripper. Yeah. Or any bartender. Or any server, waiter. You literally have to pay to go to work. I'm not kidding. It's called tipping out. I have to pay my boss's employees. Play the game how it goes. Anyways, back to the military. Okay, this guy reached out to me after he saw my military as a joke video. He goes, because I didn't bring up pensions, but another thing, I was talking to a fellow ex-Air Force guy who said he thought they got rid of pensions, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't bring it up. Anyways, this guy was telling me I wasn't wrong. I wasn't tripping about the military, but he did say this. He goes, we still have pensions after 20 years, VA disability, so 2 checks at retirement. Depending on the disability rating, which is most likely going to be high, you get free medical and sometimes dental. My friend who told me that is not Taco. He goes, Taco's on crack. Ha ha. Taco didn't say that. Taco's parents are actually cops. A lot of his family are all military. I have no problem against the military or cops. I don't. The problem I have is, are they actually going to protect you and me? Or are they going to just do things for money? That's the problem I have with it. And you guys know the answer to that for the most part. I've met good cops, bad cops. I've been through the court system. I've had a felony. I've been on the other side. Most people in the military or our cops, they've never been on the side I've been on. They're the ones with the guns and the badges and the funny hats. Send your ass through the court system and you see how fucked it is. You get beat up by 4 cops on your front doorstep for doing nothing wrong. That happened to me. But I've also had cool cops. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, So apparently the military still gives you a retirement if you want to stay there for 20 years until they extend it to 30 years, and then you're actually fucked. I'm glad we got that out of the way. This gentleman goes off. Remember in the beginning when the woman was talking about the slave thing? Okay, we're all slaves. I'm a slave. You're a slave. We're happy slaves, not so happy slaves. But that's a big theme, and I'm going to let this guy go off real quick, and then we'll talk more about that.
4% of single-family homes bought in 2023 were through private equity, and those same people have investments in privatized prison, and they just made it illegal to be homeless. What is stopping these people from jacking up the price of rent until you're homeless, and now they have an infinite slave glitch?
They already have an infinite slave glitch. We're already doing it. It's just not at a severe enough level, if that makes any sense. And we're always going to have to work no matter what. But the way shit's designed is I'm nothing more than a number. When I'm born, it costs money. When I die, it costs money. I don't know if you've had anybody die in your life that you had to go get a death certificate for and then pay for them to get buried and then pay for all the stuff. You know what I mean? It's all about money. That's all it's ever about. So I see in the future, man, it's either going to be... It's going to go one of two ways. We're either going to be even more of slaves and really feel like it, like this gentleman is right here. And I'm not saying that because of his skin color. Skin color's out the window. We're all, none of us are excluded. I hate to say that, but it's true. So it's either going to just get worse or people are going to start dropping off. And more and more people are going to own their own businesses. More and more people are going to say no. More people are going to be like that gentleman in the beginning, living on a commune, just kumbaya and shit, just, just hanging out, living off the land. I don't know, but I'm totally stoked. But yeah, it is trippy what that gentleman just said, though. And here's another one, retirement, right? Most of us think that's a joke anyways, but in the next 10 years, we'll find out if that's even possible or not. He goes, a millennial who made 6 figures working 2 remote jobs said it could help him retire by the age of 50. Yeah, if money doesn't keep devaluing and getting more expensive. He goes, but the overemployment wasn't worth the stress. Yeah, like how long can you work 7 days a week for? Talk about slave stuff, right? It's classic.
And divorce rate is, I think.
All right, so we're gonna move forward, okay? This has nothing to do with the LGBTQ, ABC, ED, EFGW community. Basically there's a lot more gay people, which is fine. It's all good. If you prefer penis, that's awesome. Or if you're a woman who wants to do the thing, all good. I don't care. All gravy, baby. I'm rooting for you. But I see in the next 10 years, I feel like it's just going to explode mass gays. You know what I mean? All of California is going to be its own country, and it's going to be hey, I'm going way too far with this. We're just talking shit, okay? I don't know what I'm saying. We're just getting weird. Just talking. No offense. But this lady's talking about, this is kind of the men versus women shit in society. Nobody wants to get married. Divorce rate's high. But she's talking about the lesbian divorce rate. It's kind of funny.
It's something like 75% divorce rate, but why I'm laughing is because how are you guys going to pin this one on men? How are you going to blame men for this? Because it's 2 women. From what I'm reading online, what women say the reason for divorces in a same-sex marriage is domestic violence, cheating, feeling ignored, and get this one, feeling like one partner is not pulling their weight in the relationship, which is very interesting to me because you all preach, oh, men are like children, you have to take care of them, they don't pull their weight. But these are 2 women. So please tell me how you're going to pin this one on men. Seen for a while.
Honestly, to be fair, a lot of us have been programmed from... That's funny, though, that she mentions that. That does make sense. I mean, women, no offense, ladies, but... And it's not actually your fault, by the way. It's how we've been programmed. Even men are guilty of this, too. We've all been programmed to be just on to the next one. Or do you, girl? Or, we're kind of programmed that way. But it is funny when you break it down like she did and show that, the gay men, if they're married, divorce rate's low. 2 dudes, they'll make it work. We'll thug it out. Hard times, whatever. We get it. You know, I'll be mad at you, love you. I still love you. It's like America being my child. A little disappointed. But it's kind of funny when she broke it down like that. Anyways, this guy's bringing up back in the 70s here. He goes, growing up, we had no health, dental, or car insurance, no HOAs, no internet, no computers, no cell phones, no seatbelts, no car seats, etc. Most people smoked. Drinking and driving wasn't a big deal. Dad worked, mom stayed home. Hardly no one went to college. There were plenty of jobs, no feminism, BLM, or woke people. You could actually work on your own car. Holy shit. He goes, we all walked to school. Everyone could afford a house. There were hardly any rental homes. We had presidents like John Kennedy, not complaining, just saying. Society now is so effed up. My parents came out of the Great Depression and always told us how lucky we were. Anybody hear that? You guys in the back? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Take a hit of that. Metaphorically speaking, okay? We got to stay laser here. We can't afford to be drunk and high all the time. Not in today's society. All right? Little cheat code, just in case you need to hear that. But it's funny to think that this was a thing. But it's cool because the Great Depression, let's say the Great Depression happens again. That's why I'm being optimistic, because the next 10 years, even if it's total shit and things are really rough, that's what it took. It took a Great Depression for things to get better. Or at least in that time frame. Maybe it doesn't have to happen the same way. But I'm just saying, maybe 10 years from now, maybe things turn around. It's possible. I'm hoping it does. Be honest, I don't want to live in the woods.
You so worried about not having money, you don't even realize how free life is.
That's a big one now. Look, it's free outside. Yeah, remember the guy in the commune. And let's look at all the homeless people, too. Although homeless, I'll talk about that after this lady goes off. But she's got a good point here.
The housing market, and I decided to look up how many vacant homes are there in the United States. In 2022, there are 15.1 million vacant homes nationwide. So then I decided to look up how many homeless people are in America. As of 2022, there are 582,462 homeless people in America. Let's do the math on that real quick. If we were to house every homeless person, we would have 14,517,538 homes still vacant. What are we doing?
I just found out that the fastest growing...
All right, let's be honest. Most homeless people, that's a choice. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's a lot of people, this lady's talking about elderly people not being able to afford their bills because they're on a fixed income. They're supposed to retire and be happy, but that was all a lie. Classic. But most homeless people, man, drugs, alcohol, I don't feel bad for them. They shouldn't be getting free homes. Fuck all that. They want to sober up? Yeah, let's hook them up. No big deal. Everyone loves a good comeback story. I'm all about people redeeming themselves. All right, I've redeemed myself many times. Lord knows, help me. But I had to help my goddamn self. But if we are going to be housing people, let's be housing the people that are actually, not a nuisance to society. How about that? Just a thought. I might be crazy. Anyways.
Growing demographic of homeless people are the elderly. Because they've been priced out of their homes. I fucking hate it here.
Okay. Now, those people definitely should be hooking them up. And where the fuck are their families at? That's what I want to know. A lot of selfish shit going on. This lady's got an excellent point here. I don't understand why people can't just go live with roommates, friends, or families if they are struggling. Like I said, we've been programmed. Everyone wants their own house, their own shit. I want to be alone. I want to fuck whoever I want. I don't want a kid. I don't want any of this. God forbid my parent needs help. You're on your own, Mom and Dad. You wipe my ass, I will not wipe yours. So that's another thing to think about. And then also flip it on its head. If people aren't having kids anymore, where the fuck are any of these... When I get old, if I don't have a kid, if I need to live with somebody, I don't have anybody. Everyone's dead. I don't have any children. That's spectacular, man. This lady made an excellent point. She keeps going on, but we don't need to read all of that. So I do agree with that. It's kind of like, what?
What are y'all...
For real, though. Think about that for 1 second. That's kind of trippy, dude. That's unreal. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. 4th of July, Independence Day, right? Well, we don't feel like we have too much independence anymore. So, let's set the tone for that.
Doing for 4th of July. I have not seen not one single post. I haven't seen any advertising. This is such an odd year. I feel like no one's doing anything. I feel like...
Yeah, well, I'm down to spend money on food and shelter and fun activities, but I'm not buying fucking fireworks. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Go barbecue? Waste money for what? Independence Day? No offense. I don't mean to sound like that, but remember the disappointment in our child that is America right now. I'm not feeling too liberated. You know what I mean? And I hate to seem negative. It's like, let's just talk about it so we can move forward. That's kind of what we're doing here. You know, like, let's not let this shit beat us down. It's kind of like critical thinking. One thing I learned in school. But it's something to think about. What are you guys doing for 4th of July? I'm not doing shit. Actually, I'm going to Texas. But it's for work and sex.
The only two options we have now are be poor or be rich by hurting a bunch of poor people. And most of us don't even get the chance to do number two.
We also...
You hear what she just said? Remember in the beginning, 2 ways to be wealthy. But in her mind, there's only one way to be wealthy. When it's actually, there's still another way to help people that can also bring you what you want. Remember the selfish stuff. We're getting to an era where in the next 10 years, if we can't figure out how to work together, then we're really fucked. Like, I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Luckily for me, I got people to work with. I'm not selfish. I live with people, or people live with me, whatever. We're making it work the best I can. All right? Fancy isn't what we need right now. We need some super practical shit, and we need to help others. But then there's also the other side of the coin. No one's willing to help you, so why would you help them? I know. Anyways, this guy doesn't rent any of his houses or apartments to anybody who uses an Android. So this is great.
Don't rent to any Android users. Only iPhone users in my portfolio.
Tell me more about that.
So last year we did an analysis on all the evictions, and we realized the vast majority of evictions come as a result of Android userships. All of the people that we evicted were using Androids, and we just didn't want them anymore. So once their lease came up, assuming they weren't a good tenant, because of course occasionally you do have the outlier, but all new tenants moving starting in November of 2023 are all iPhone users. Yep. We do not accept Android users.
Talk about a social credit score, right? So anyways, what did we learn today? In the next 10 years, things can either be fucked, or hopefully they get a little bit better, or maybe they start to even out, okay? It turns out that you just having a good credit score or a job is not the only factor anymore on getting a place to live. We found out that a lot of people aren't having kids anymore, which is great, because then you'll have nobody to lean on when you get older. You'll have less of a community. That's perfect. And a lot of people are being forced out of their houses, or they can't afford them. New York's fucked. California's screwed. Good luck there. Even places in Texas. I went to Austin, Texas. Shithole. It's a shithole. Florida, where I live, it's getting packed. That shit you were just looking at, they're just building. And here's the thing, too. And on this note, a lot of these places are all HOA neighborhoods, meaning you never own your house. Even though property tax, you never own your house, which it's like, whose land is it anyways? What are you going to do, fight them for the land? But that's kind of where it's going, man. People don't want to own homes. I get that. They can't even afford them. But the problem is you can't even own an apartment. There's HOAs. There's apartment dues. So I don't know. You guys leave your thoughts, leave your predictions, get as crazy as you want. Solid talk, man. Unreal. Check out my second channel if you guys want. I feature a lot of your guys' DMs on Instagram and comments, and more of like an advice column. We still have fun over there, though. It's a good time. And shout out to all my Patreon members. Got a lot of private content on the Patreon. I've been adding to it a lot lately. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And, whatever. But I get it. It's hard out here, all right? I don't expect people to be able to just shit money out of their ass to give to some guy on the internet who's talking. But the people out there who can, you want to support my shenanigans and the cause, I appreciate that. Good shit. Solid talk.